Hello, guys. Is Pope Francis advocating for pluralism? In his recent comment about religion, he, he said that all religion leads to God. You know what I mean? And you can see that this is pluralism in every aspect. You know what I mean? When somebody make this kind of comment, and I know that some people are livid. Some Christians are livid. Some of them are fundamentals. They are livid about this comment by the Pope Francis, about all religion leads to God. You know what I mean? And the sad part of it is that Pope Francis have a written statement handed over to him to read in that situation, but he decided to ignore that written statements or written documents, and went on a tangent on his own, speak for himself, as the case may be. And we know that this is coming from this kind of statement is coming from the impulses of a liberal mind. You know what I mean? And some people are suspecting that Pope Francis is liberal, is even ultra liberal. In mind. You know what I mean? But before we talk about what this means and why some people should not be livid about it, because this statement by Pope Francis is not the teaching of the Catholic Church, even though he represents the Catholic Church, and this is his own opinion, which you have right to criticize. So I don't blame people that can criticize it. You know what I mean? Because the statement is not good. That's the truth about it. This is not the best statement to make. But we know why he made this statement like this, because they have other people from other religions. He's trying to make them welcome. But this kind of a statement we see with Pope Francis, we only see it when we talk about Christianity. People making this kind of statement. You don't see a Muslim or Buddhist or Hindu or any other religion talking about stuff like that. All religion, you don't see any big figure talking about other religion, inclusive. This is a liberal impulse we see with this liberal we have today. It's all about inclusive. You know what I mean? They even bring God to be inclusive, but God is not inclusive. Even in his revelation, he was not inclusive. You know what I mean? He chooses Israelite to reveal himself. He revealed himself to Abraham. There's other men during that time, but he chose Abraham, which means he was not inclusive. And he chose the Israelites, to reveal himself more to them. You know what I mean? So, and even when you read the Bible or even church document, you know that heaven is not going to be for everyone. But this is a liberal impulse. They believe, some of them believe, well, maybe Pope Francis may even believe that everyone goes to heaven. I will not be surprised if tomorrow he comes out and says something like that. And he was on a trip to this Asia, and it was a successful trip. He went there, but that's why people in the West doesn't pay attention to even what he was doing there, saying there, until when he made this kind of statement. It's like he's calling attention for himself to people in the West to look at him or talk about him. You know what I mean? Because people are pissed off about this kind of statement, especially if you're a Christian and you love Christianity. You know what I mean? Because it's a false statement anyway. If all religion leads to God, why is he still the Pope? Why don't he go to Argentina and join and find the other religion, because it's all the same. This is what it means, you know what I mean? But as a Catholic, we are not obliged to hold this opinion of him. You know what I mean? No one is, because people doesn't understand the Pope, the office of Pope. They try to make it like, Pope says something, is like, oh, this is the teaching of the church. No, it's not. Pope comes and go, you know what I mean? Even Pope John Paul II kiss Quran book, the Bible, the Muslims' holy book. Pope John Paul kiss it, He did it just for, to make them feel welcome, you know what I mean? But the stuff is like what the West are doing and the Christians are doing is that they don't, those other religion doesn't reciprocate this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You can't just be, people see this kind of thing as weakness. They don't see it as strength, you know what I mean? Everyone is, you can just let your standard down when you see other religion. It doesn't need to be so. And the office of the Pope, as a Catholic, we respect the office of the Pope. And we respect, we are obliged to follow the Pope when he makes some declaration concerning faith and moral, not when he gives opinion like this. When he gives an annoying opinion like this, you don't need to follow it. No. So you need to understand the church and how the church takes the Pope. Popes comes and go. Francis might have another 15 years if he's strong enough, and we have another Pope. And we're not guaranteed that we're going to find a Pope that we say, gratify our ears, say what we have in mind, everything that, all the stuff the Pope says must line up with what we believe. We don't see it today. And you can't guarantee anyone, even some people that claim to be conservative Christians, even when they become Pope or become leaders, you see that they perform badly as well. You know what I mean? So because Pope John Paul II is saint, is conservative, in all sense, but he still go and kiss Quran. And we Christians, we know better this time around that the Quran is not word of God. But Pope does it in a way of communism, you know what I mean? And another thing people should understand is that Pope Francis is a representative of a country as well as a religious figure. So maybe the stuff he said is he said it in form of a representative of a country. He's not said it in the church, but because everything about him is without the church, he won't have the state, you know what I mean? That's why people are not, happy about what he said. And some people defend, because anytime somebody makes mistakes or say something, there's always people, which I don't like, who will support somebody. You can't support somebody, sheepishly or blindly. It means that if you are doing that, you don't even have integrity. Even if he's your father, if your father do something wrong, you should be able to say that it's wrong. Not just twist it, Try to make it appear that it's not wrong, it's good. Or you have other stuff, And I see some people go extra to criticize him, But this is opinion, No one should hold that opinion if you don't want. And this is what we see because Pope, this current Pope is a liberal. And the one thing with Pope is that we don't have, it's not like when they want to elect a new Pope, they don't have like a campaign, political campaign like we have in other places where the candidates can be interviewed before they become the president, and we know what they have in mind. And even if you go to that route, even if you interview the person might say something that you want to hear. And when he gets to power, It changes. You know what I mean? So it's just pray that we have a pope, that we be, we stick to church teachings and be a good example, because we have to evangelize people. Other religion doesn't lead to God. Some sort of people that worship Satan, can their worship of Satan lead to God? Because I'm trying to see a way you can twist this stuff, say, oh look, these people, because he said lead to God. If he didn't say lead to God, somebody can take it. It's okay. People, like if you say like human beings, natural religious, they must follow one thing or the other. We should live in harmony. No one will have problem with that. But when you bring God into it, why should you even bring God into it now? I don't understand why Pope should mention God there in terms of communism. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like our video. Peace.